Hey, what's going on, everybody? This your boy Ty Ray, and today on Check the Rock, we got a special guest. Got my girl Nikki Nac. What's going
Thank you
on?
so
How
much.
you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here with you.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. I'm very excited to have you on today, and let's get to it. Get into these topics that we have. So first, I want to talk about want to talk about your show, and we just want to talk about talk about you. I know you went to school. I know you're from Atlanta, correct?
I am from Illinois.
Oh, you're from Illinois, but you
Yes.
oh, I guess maybe my research was wrong. So you're from Illinois. What part of Illinois?
So I'm from Lake County, Illinois, but I be all over, so you're not wrong.
Okay, got you. But you was in Atlanta at some point though, right?
Yes, I was in Atlanta for a couple of months and it whooped my tail and handed it to me, and I came right on back to Illinois.
What? But you in Chicago, correct?
I am on the outskirts of Chicago. So I work in the inner city of Chicago, but I don't live there.
Okay, so what's the big difference between Illinois and Chicago? Because I mean not
So
Illinois, Chicago. I mean
Illinois.
Chicago and I'm sorry. What's the big difference between Chicago and Atlanta? My fault.
Oh, well, Atlanta, I feel like is one of those hot spots with so many successful Black people walking around. And I feel like Chicago is more of a melting pot than Atlanta is. And Atlanta is full of scammers, okay? Because number one, they are the hub of most of the connecting flights. So you're going to get all those out of town foreigners, scammers, all that. Everybody's trying to make it. So it's a different environment.
You know what? It's interesting that you bring that up because I know you're from you say you're from Illinois. My wife is actually from Illinois. She's from Peoria, which I
Okay.
know is probably like 2.5, 3 hours from Chicago, whatever. But it's interesting that you bring up the scamming part because we were down there a couple of weeks ago for the Black Sports Symposium, and while she was at the mall, someone I guess they got these card scanners now, and if they get close enough to you, they can scan your card information. So I guess she used their card to buy something, and then we get back here and she got like charges in Ohio and charges in California and charges in Illinois, and she's like, "What the
Yeah.
heck?" So it's
Yeah.
interesting that you mentioned the scamming part because that's very true. So that's very interesting. So where'd you go to college at?
I went to college at National Louis University to get my bachelor's, but before that, I went to a community college called College of Lake County.
Okay, and what did you get your bachelor's in?
So I got my bachelor's in behavioral sciences, applied
Okay,
behavioral sciences.
okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you went from the applied behavioral science, and then so how did you get to where you are now?
Well, I have always been a talker. I had no idea I was going to get into broadcasting. And 2 years ago, I was very active on my YouTube, but I wasn't so good at it. And my son, who's 11-year-old now, he was like, "Mom, you don't really get that many views. You should try streaming." He's a gamer.
Yeah.
These kids are addicted to phones and video games. So he was like, "Try streaming." And I tried streaming. And then I ended up turning my live streaming to a talk show and put an LLC on it last year. And now I'm at Illinois Media School. So,
Okay, interesting. Interesting. So Illinois Media School. Okay, interesting. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. Like I said, she pretty much told you guys. She's from Illinois, even though I thought she was from somewhere else. But that's neither here nor there. But like she said, she's been a little bit everywhere. All right, so I want to talk about the Brittney Grinder situation. Today some interesting information came out that she pled guilty. She's been detained. A lot of people feel like it's illegally since February. How do you feel about that situation?
I feel like there's a whole lot going on. And I feel like in a lot of situations, we have to hold ourselves accountable. We all want to break the rules and bend the rules, but everywhere is not America. And, we have to be ready for the consequences that come with our actions. It's unfortunate that she's in that situation, but all we can do is pray for sis because they're not really playing fair right now, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy because I read somewhere that normally infraction such as what she did, just the hash or I guess point whatever she had, normally that would be just a fine. So it's very interesting to me. Well, not very interesting, but it's very saddened to me that they've been holding her all this time when normally it would be a sign. So I mean a fine. I'm sorry. So, but that's a little crazy. So
Yeah.
let's so we talked about that. So let's transition to Roe versus Wade. I feel like that's been a very big topic. And like you mentioned, you do have a 11-year-old son. So how do you feel about it?
I feel like, oh, first of all, I think that there's this obsession in America with telling women how to use their body, what they can do with their body, what they should wear on their body. And we can mind our business by ourselves. We don't need help, you know. But since it has come to this and it's been overturned, the right to get an abortion, I just feel like, um, I mean, you know, they didn't really stop abortion. They stopped safe abortions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's unfortunate. And I think that maybe people should take a look at why they have such strong urges to be so sexual all the time anyway. Society is just way too hyper sexual. Like, it's not that deep to risk putting yourself in a situation where you're not going to be able to have the outcome that you want. You know what I mean?
I definitely get what you mean. It just for me, I think the thing with me is for them to overturn that, it's like, man, like that's been a ruling for so long, Supreme Court, we learned about it in school, high school, middle school, all these different Supreme Court cases, Brown versus the Board of Education, Roe versus Wade, just different cases. Now to hear that that's overturned, like now it has me really thinking like, what else would they might try and overturn? You know what I mean? And like you said, it just,
Yeah.
and I do want to ask you this too. Since when has it became so popular for men to try and tell women what to do with their body?
I think that social media makes it just more possible for everyone to get their opinions out. So it's like overkill today for everyone to overexert their opinion on what a man should be and what a woman should be and what someone else should be doing, you know?
Got you. So I know this wasn't necessarily on the script, but I got to ask because it's been such a popular question. I've been debating people about. Well, not necessarily debating, but I guess we've been having healthy conversation about this. So the woman went viral because the man showed up with I guess it was a Happy Meal. I don't know what was in the bag. Everybody's saying it's a Happy Meal, but I didn't see the Happy Meal box. I just seen the bag, right? So the
Yeah.
woman shows up with the bag for his. I mean, I'm sorry. The man shows up with the bag for his son, but he only shows up with one bag when I guess she has two or three other kids. I can't remember. So
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on that situation?
My thoughts on that situation is it was wrong of her to pressure him to do anything, because I feel like you should always leave room for people to hang themselves or just treat you how they feel about you, because that's how people let you know the way that they really do feel about you. And I also feel like I never end up in situations like that because I don't deal with men who are stingy or they operate from a mindset of lack. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like everyone should just hustle hard enough to where it won't hurt them to get the other kids food. That's how I feel. But that's just my mind, though.
I got you. So what I told people was this. Me personally, I'm just speaking for me personally. 9 times out of 10, I probably would have got the other kids something. But I do not feel like he's obligated, right? And now, once, but that was originally how I felt. Once I got more information, I tell people, I need more information. So once I got more information on it, I guess they had recently been dating, and once they were recently been dating, he always did for the other kids. They broke up recently. I guess the other kids were upset why he hadn't been doing for them. But I mean, still, it's a touchy situation, especially you bringing food all week. I mean, I don't know, but then I guess when go ahead.
It just goes to show how men feel so entitled, because I'm sure he's not clapping the cheeks anymore. So now he's like, I'm not going to do for all the kids. Like, it's always connected to sex. If a man's not getting sex, then he totally withdraws. And it's wild to me.
I, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I mean, I think it just depends on the individual. Because I mean, the thing is this: I think sometimes we get so caught up in what we can do for other people, right? So I guess if I'm doing something for you, you have to be doing something for me. I mean, I think it's necessarily did she ask him, like, how did the conversation go? Did she ask him to bring something for the other kids? How aware was he of what the other kids had going on, or did his son just text him and say, "Hey, Dad, can you bring me?" my son, I have two sons, and if one of them, if something ever happened between me and my wife, whatever. But if one of them texts me and say, "Hey, can you bring me a Happy Meal?" Or I don't know, a quarter pound. I don't know what the heck was in the bag. I don't know. No, I don't know if it was two mac chickens and a bag of Takis. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like if one of them hit me up and say, "Hey, bring me such and such," I ain't gonna be like, "How many other kids over there?" Or is it 10 kids over there? Is it 15 kids? You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I guess it's one of those situations where we kind of have to agree to disagree. Although I do feel like under certain circumstances, maybe you should have bought something for everybody.
I think that men are providers, and men who have an issue or complain about providing, especially when they knew the situation, like he's a loser. He's a loser, period.
Why you got to be a loser though?
No comma. Because as an adult, like especially in dating, when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to date someone with kids because kids get in the way, they're a burden." Like, you were a kid once too. Everyone grows up to be an adult, and the way that children are viewed and the way that they're kind of treated and looked at is kind of disheartening to me. Like, you should want to. And when you bless other people, you get blessed anyway, even if it's not from that person.
But see, I don't know. My thing is this, and this is where I'm at on it. I think a lot of times, I think it depends. Now, if you don't have kids, I honestly don't see nothing wrong with someone that doesn't have kids saying they don't want to deal with someone that has them. And I don't think it's necessarily they don't want to deal with the kids. It's just from my experience. I'm 36 now. I didn't meet my wife until I was, I don't know, 32, 31, maybe something like that. I bad with the math. But, so, for me, it wasn't that I didn't like dealing with the kids. I didn't like dealing with the fathers. I honestly felt better if I dated a woman that had a not husband, if they had a baby daddy that was not around, because to me it makes it easier. Like I don't look. I guess a lot of guys, especially when you don't deal with drama, because if you're single man with no kids, 9 times out of 10 you don't have very much drama in your life. Does that make sense?
The very last part that you said makes sense, yes. But everything else I'm not too sure about.
Why you say that though?
Because there is no problem. There's no problem with not wanting to date someone because they don't have kids, because you're just making room for the real men who don't mind. So there's no problem in that. But it's the reasoning behind it. Like, okay, you don't want to give this bum on the corner money. Why? Is it because like you just want to be rude, or is it because you sincerely can't? You know what I'm saying? It's the undertone of it. It's not necessarily the, hey, I don't want to date a single parent, Some people are just flat out selfish, and that's the reason why. It's not because, hey, I'm not mentally mature enough to help raise someone. I'm not a good enough idol right now to be that influence, It's for like shallow reasons. I don't respect that.
So it's not the answer, it's the explanation, right?
Yes.
I get what you're saying. And I tell guys, and I know we kind of got off subject a little bit here, but I tell guys this all the time. If you limit, because as you get older, especially once you get above, like I'll just use this number. Once you get above 28, you really start to limit yourself on options if you say, I'm not going to date anybody with no kids. So I do want to ask you this question, because I know you are single. So if you're dating a guy, how many kids is too many?
First of all, I am single, but I'm married to the game. Okay.
Married to the game. Okay. Gotcha.
Gotta say that.
Gotcha.
But you know what? Just recently this week, and I'm a 50 shades of Nic Nac. I'm a different person every day. Every day I wake up with like new reasonings. I'm learning every day. I'm changing my mind, and I feel like I'm allowed to do that because I'm not committed to another person. But I feel like now it doesn't really matter how many children a guy has. Like, if he is a real solid person, then our kids can play and they can grow up together, because I'm a go-getter and I would only end up with a go-getter. So we're going to have more than enough to be able to provide. So as long as he is like on his P's and Q's and he's a real man, I can deal with however many kids, to be honest. We're going to be in the Bahamas anyway.
So if he had 10, that's fine.
If he got 10 kids, that's cool, because one of them is going to be a babysitter while we go and have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they 10 kids from 10 to 0.
I
From 10
mean,
to 6,
but
from 10 to 6 months. 10, 9, 8, 6, 7. I don't know. I got a
well,
lot of
so
work.
6 months is like fresh out. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, ain't no Kodak Black over here. Like, you got to be removed from the situation. You know.
I got you. I got you. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. So over the 4th of July weekend, I know we've had a lot of mass shootings in America this year, and even it's even been a few overseas too as well. But I know this last one might have hit close to home for you because it is in Illinois. It is in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's in Highland Park. 8 killed, 30 people as many as 30 people put in the hospital. I know a few have gotten out of the hospital. What's your take on these mass shootings, especially the one in Highland Park?
Well, first, I want to send condolences to all the families that were affected. And essentially, everyone was affected because it weighs on your mental. You don't even want to leave the house and go do anything because people are nuts. They've lost their mind. But at the end of the day, I think that people need to get closer to God and stop trying to seek attention and approval and love from other people and just get right with Him. And I think that's all that it is, to be honest. Like, everything always comes back to God. So we need to stay more prayed up.
For sure. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, what sports you watch?
I watch whatever sport is playing when I'm with my loved ones.
I got see look, you could tell she got the PR training. So
No, but you know what? This is organic. This is homegrown. Like
I see. So do you have an NBA? So you gonna make my job hard? No, I'm just messing with you. So do you have an NBA team?
The Bulls all day.
Bulls. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like Chicago fans are the most loyal fans out of everyone.
Yeah, I mean, they I give it to you, even though a lot of them Chicago fans from the 90s, I don't know where they went. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, some of them still Chicago fans. I got to give it to them. But, like I know my wife's dad, he's a diehard Bears fan. I don't know if he's a Bulls fan, but I know he's a diehard Bears fan. He stick by his Bears. The Bears I don't think they ain't won a Super Bowl since '85, and they ain't been to the Super Bowl since 2000 or something. I can't remember the year when they lost to the Colts. But so Bulls, who's your favorite player?
My favorite player is Jacoby White.
Okay, Kobe White from Carolina. From
yes,
I forgot what city in Carolina he from, but he from down here somewhere. All right, so Kobe White, Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna take it. Your football team is the Bears.
Bear down.
All right. So Bears, when y'all gonna be good again?
I don't have that information yet, but we're gonna sing good vibes and speed into existence, because I heard that the chemistry between Justin Fields and his coach this year is really good. So I feel like when you feel like your coach has a lot of faith in you and behind you, it makes you perform better. So I feel like, that's a good start.
Yeah, Justin Fields, I do definitely feel like he's going to be a star in this league. I don't think it's a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when. I do wish he was with a better team. I do wish he was a better team and a better organization, but that's neither here nor there.
But you know what? I think that, and I'm not a big sports guru, but I think that that's the part of football that I appreciate, because the NBA seems like they want to put all the good players on one team. Like Justin Fields is just that good where he can just, you know what I'm saying? He can make it happen, like he can kick it off. So
I got you. I mean, you're right. I mean, in basketball, I think the difference in basketball is this. Football, you got to have 22 starters. You got to have 53 guys on the roster. So it's kind of hard to take control. Basketball, the one thing, for as much as people don't like LeBron James or do like him, whatever, right? I think the one thing that LeBron has done that you have to give him credit for is he put him and a few others, put the players in control. So NBA is a players league. So, people don't like them having control. I don't see the issue, because like when owners were making trades and they were in control, nobody had an issue, but now their players in control, people got an issue. I don't understand the issue with the issue, if that makes sense, right? But Justin Fields, Y'all definitely got something. Y'all definitely do got something right in Chicago, though. I will say that. So before we get out of here, so I know you had an interesting take that I seen the other day on dating. Trying to remember exactly what it was.
I'm always stirring up mess on my Facebook timeline.
It wasn't the $800 one because I seen that one. It was oh, it was your red flags. It was your red flag. You had a post saying the red flag was. You remember that?
I have a bunch of those actually, so
Oh
I
Lord,
don't know which
it
one
was
you're
like
referring to.
red flag. I can't remember. That sucks on my part because I cannot remember what it was. But if we get time, we will talk about that later. But I do want to say this before we get out of here. Where can the people find you at?
So you can follow me on Instagram at Nic Nac Talk Show Host. That's NICNAC Talk Show Host. And you can click the link in my bio, subscribe to my YouTube, and just, I don't know. They're going to see me at some point, even if they don't follow me. Nic Nac Show is going to be
And then for my
household name pretty soon. So.
and then for my Illinois people that they can catch you on the radio, correct?
I'm sorry.
I said, and for my Illinois people, they can catch you on the radio, correct?
Yes. So I will be on the radio soon. I do host a radio show at my school studio on evolutionpop.com called Nic Nac Chit Chat Radio. But I do plan to be on air in a year. So stay tuned for that.
So definitely keep an eye out for Nikky Nac. She's a budding star. I mean, y'all heard her here today. You know what I mean? We won't hold the fact that she's a Chicago Bulls and a Chicago Bears fan against her. You know what I mean? But definitely be on the lookout for her. She's gonna set this industry on fire. I mean, you've seen her just what she's done on this show today, and her charisma and everything. So, Nikky, we appreciate you being on. Check the rock, and we're gonna see you real soon. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a blessed day.